moving to a new city for university literally sounds like a dream until you realize you have to organize your entire life from scratch. Visas, class schedules, finding an apartment, packing a whole 23 kg suitcase for your entire life, making a packing list for that suitcase. It gets really, really overwhelming really fast. And when I was about to start this journey, all I could think about was the end result, the new city, the new cafes, meeting new people. But of course, there's so much more than just that. You have a whole process to go through to get to that point. And I knew that if I didn't have one place to keep every single little bit of information, then I would spiral. I would. So I spent a couple days building a whole system that kind of organizes every single little thing and actually handles the chaos without feeling overwhelmed by the chaos. And so today I'm bringing you guys along and kind of showing you this entire plan that I've built for myself. And I would say it's the perfect plan for anyone that's moving to a new city, or even moving to a new city in a new country, or just anyone that's moving in general to start university. So let's dive in. Right at the top, I built a today's top priorities section. When you are moving 5 million boxes into a little tiny car or writing 3 exams in 4 days, you kind of don't really have the time to open up a whole planner, find today's dates, and write your little to-do list. So I made it super easy to access right at the top of the dashboard. Moving down to the center of the dashboard, we have a master timeline, which is basically a digital calendar representing everything that you have going on in the next couple of weeks, whether that's a task, a deadline, an appointment, an event, everything. I don't know about you guys, but if I see a massive calendar that just has a bunch of stuff written down and I can't actually distinguish, okay, what is something I need to work on? What is something I need to plan to drive to, like an appointment? What is an exam? All of that stuff kind of gets super overwhelming when you look at it from that perspective, which is why I decided to add little sticker icons that you can just select when you want to make this an appointment or a deadline or something. And so everything is just in one single space. Okay, and then moving on, I designed this dashboard to be split up into 3 main sectors, or 3 main hubs. So we have the relocation hub at the very top, which is everything regarding moving, whether that's a city or a new country, everything regarding moving. And then we have a little sector called your study desk, which entails everything regarding classes, studying, university. And then the last section is called beyond university, because we all know that moving also entails finding new cafes, finding new grocery stores, all of that stuff. Therefore, all of these 3 sections cover everything you need before, after, and even during the move. So let's take a little bit of a deeper look into each of these little hubs. Okay, so to start off, we have the relocation hub, which includes a packing list, a master move checklist, and a little page about finding your new home, whether that's a dorm or an apartment or anything. So let's take a deeper look. So when you open master move checklist, you immediately see your quick emergency info. This includes your student support number. This is super important when you're starting out university. At least I think so. I haven't really started uni yet, but I will be making sure that I have this student support number on available all times. And then below that, you have the address that you will basically have to get used to again, and you will have to memorize this exact address. So having it here at the top of the master move page is just so helpful. Okay, below that, this is really cool in my opinion. You have a little like 3-column planner. So the first column is 3 months before you move, which is currently the phase that I'm in. And then the next column is less than a month before you move. And then the third column is the day you are moving, because we all know moving day is insane. And then that first week that you're there. Like I said, this can be used for if you're starting a new city, a new state, a new country, fully customizable to whatever you need it to be. So yeah, so the reason why I find this quite cool is because not only do you see tasks you need to be doing or tasks you are working on right now, but they also have little tabs that kind of separate them all from each other, so you're not really looking at some long list, but more so you know exactly what's important, what category it falls under. So for example, obviously you already have the timeline of the 3 columns. So for example, I have put here packing, documents, health, finance, and housing. Below that you have a little sticker that you can add to your task. If it's high priority, low priority, or medium priority, so level of importance of getting done. Below that I have 4 checklists for 4 different phases that you're going to be in. 3 to 6 months beforehand, 2 months beforehand, 2 weeks beforehand, and like I said, moving day and the first week that you're there. This is obviously, like I keep mentioning, this checklist is specific for different people, so you can change, delete, adjust anything you want. So I find that little page super helpful. Below that we have the packing list. This is very important in my opinion. I think you can't just pack the day before. You need to be packed way in advance and you can't miss out a single thing. So I have put this into separate categories. This isn't just a basic list. It's categorized by clothing you need, bathroom stuff you need, electronics you need, and even essential documents. And as you can see, all these categories have little subcategories. So when you click outerwear, you're not just standing there thinking, okay, what jackets and jerseys do I need? You actually can see, oh, I need this jacket. It goes in this luggage bag. I'm currently in the process of getting it packed, or it's ready to be packed, or I need to purchase it still, and how many of that jacket do I need? And then at the end of the row you have a little checkbox that you can tick once you've already packed it. That's how this entire page looks. Finding home. If you're still apartment hunting, this is where you can compare properties, you can store your landlord's information, you can track your viewing dates or tour dates, and it even shows you what amenities every single room or apartment has that you're looking into. So when you take a closer look at this, you can see that you can write down the property you're looking at, whether you have a tour scheduled, the apartment's saved, you have contact information, kind of like the status of where you are into looking at that apartment. What is the monthly rent? That's super important. And then what the utilities are, if there's water, electricity, Wi-Fi, laundry access. I also included a little column for distance to campus, because when I was looking at apartments, that was a major thing for me, and I kept forgetting which apartments are close to the uni and which ones are quite far. So I had to keep going back onto Google Maps and putting in the location, how far is it from my university, all of that stuff. And it was just a mission. I had to do it again and again and again. So just having it like this in such an easy access space is so much better. There's also a little spot that you can write how long your lease is. For example, mine is 1 year. And then at the very end of the whole row, you have your landlord's information or the contact details of the landlord. So that's also just really easy to access. And then at the bottom of the page, which I will definitely be using, is a little inspection checklist. So exactly the things that you need to be looking at when you enter your new home. Are there locks on all the doors? Checking the water pressure, checking the cell service in every room. Once all the moving chaos settles, you can transition into the study desk. So starting off with prep coursework and the university hub. This is your primary academic base. You can organize all your classes, even where your classes are and who your professors are, what your syllabus is or curriculum. You can track your assignments and basically everything there is to know about the university as well. So let's take a much deeper look into those 2 pages. Starting off with University Hub, at the top is your emergency quick info again, which is labeled as campus quick links and info. I really like to keep all the very important quick access information at the top of all my pages, because we're going to be searching for that information all the time. This includes your student number, campus Wi-Fi network and Wi-Fi password, and then your campus's exact address. Below that, you can put your weekly class schedule. Next to that, we have key contacts and directory. This basically just includes who your academic advisors are and also all their email addresses. Super helpful. And then at the bottom, as we all know and love, student discounts. Who doesn't love a student discount? It's just a really easy place to put all of that information. Next to that, you have an area that kind of shows you what your university amenities are. For instance, my university has a massive library, so I'm gonna put in where the library is, the times that the library is open, and all of those little bits of information that you don't really know where to put. And then the next thing, obviously, you need to know your student semester dates or student term dates. So I have a little section here for that. Below the university hub, we have your prep coursework. I also really like this. Obviously, you have your semester information at the top, which includes what term you're in, or which includes what semester you're in, your syllabus, and your goal, your target GPA for the semester. Below that, I have an assignments tracker. So obviously this includes what subject you're talking about, what is the due date for this assignment you're working on. It also opens up to a page where you can plan your assignments or just make your entire assignments as well. So it kind of gives you extra space to jot down notes about this assignment. There's also a column that shows you how much weight this assignment is for your final grade. And then, as always, I like to include a little status. Below that, obviously, you need to know your classes, guys. Every single subject page that I've put on here includes your class overview, which just shows you who your professor is, what time your classes are and where they are and on which day. And then also the grading breakdown or the weighting. Also, at the top, I've already put in where all these classes are being hosted. That's also really quick. Instead of having to open the page every time you want to go to class, it just immediately shows you where this class is being held. It also includes what textbooks and software you need. I also included a little schedule. So your midterm exam, put in here. Your final exam, you can put in here. And then at the very bottom, I put a little sticky note that you can use if you have any questions for your professor. So if you just like write this down really quick and you open this during class, you see exactly what you need to ask. So yeah, that's what all of that entails. The last part of the study desk is something that I wouldn't say is really required for people that are just moving to a new city. Some people are moving abroad entirely. Like me, I am moving to not only a new city, but a new country and a new continent. Yeah, so that's why I included a language tracker. A little sticky note that says what your goal is in this language, where you are currently in this language, and upcoming exams or a goal you want to reach for in this language. Media and immersion log, which incorporates books and articles that you're reading and your progress in them, alongside podcasts, even movies and shows. So I'm definitely gonna duplicate this for German. So yeah, that's the language tracker. And finally, the last hub that I want to talk about is Beyond Uni, my personal favorite one, because moving for university isn't just about studying. It's also about building an entire new life in an entirely new city or town or country. So in the new city guide, you can create your own directory of local coffee shops, local pharmacies, local grocery stores, study spots, emergency contacts. So let's look at that one. At the very top, it includes a little green sticky note showcasing the emergency number for the police, ambulance, and campus security. You just fill this in once you figure out those numbers. And then it also shows you what transport or bus app you might need. I know some people use Uber, but in my case, there's literally a transport app for the country that I'm moving to. So I'm gonna put that in there. And then there's also a little city map. And then below that, we have a little table showing you some little spots that you can go to. You can put in the name of a cute cafe that you're going to or something. You also can like label it under nightlife, chill, cheap eats, essential shopping, study cafe. And then you can also paste the area, so you don't have to consistently think, oh wait, where's that coffee shop again? I don't know which area it's in. You can just put that in there quick. So I put a little price range column as well. Next to that, I have more stickers that you can choose if this cafe, if it has power outlets and Wi-Fi, if it only has Wi-Fi, all of that stuff. So I think that's also super helpful. I know even just living here in Joburg, I need to constantly think, oh, does this cafe have Wi-Fi? Do they have power outlets? Am I even allowed to bring a laptop there? That's super helpful. Then you also can decide, you can also like customize it to say like, is this your favorite place? Is this a place you want to try, or have you already been there before? And then obviously where this place is. Below that, I have put a little survival guide. For instance, if you're moving to a new city, there might be some rules that you don't know yet about the town or the city, and so just kind of keeping this here to remember is important. For me, there's definitely a local rule set that I need to get used to, going from South Africa to Europe. And then I also put really quickly the names of essential stuff you will need to know: the nearest pharmacy or the nearest convenience store. Below the new city guide, we have the budget matrix. Moving solo gets so expensive and really fast, so this page kind of just lets you track your initial relocation expenses, like for instance your flight tickets to the place you're moving to, any visa fees, alongside your ongoing monthly expenses like your rent. So you can kind of control all your finances in this one spot. At the very top, obviously there's a sticker that has the important information, so it's a little financial summary of what your income or your monthly allowance is. Below that, your monthly expenses, and then the remaining budget, and it's at the top, so it's super easy to see as well. Below that, you have a table that kind of showcases all of your initial upfront moving costs. Like I mentioned, flight tickets, visa fees, maybe if you're going to buy bedding or stuff for your new room. And obviously these are all under categories such as housing, travel, admin, supplies. Next to that, I have the estimated cost of everything, and then a little checkbox whether you've paid or not. Below that, I have a very similar table, but this is for your monthly costs. These will be changing. And because I need this myself, I put a little broke student's survival guide at the bottom. Like which grocery stores are the best to go to for broke students? What are the best budgeting apps? I know I will be having a budgeting app. Over on the right of the main dashboard, I added a section called fall routine. Moving solo to a new city means your environment completely changes, which can kind of throw off your rhythm, your sleep schedule. So I decided that I was going to just create a little morning and night routine that you can follow when you're starting this whole entirely new chapter for yourself. And then finally, below the main calendar, we have a weekly habit tracker. This kind of coincides with the whole routine for success. So you can put in your habits that you want to implement at the start of the semester, and you can just tick these off daily if you've done this or not. And then at the end of the week, it will show you your progress. That also kind of helps you visualize your progress for the semester. If you're also moving to a new city, maybe even in a new country, or you just need a complete digital reset before the semester starts, you don't have to build any of this from scratch. I turned this entire planner into a dashboard on Notion called the Solo Move and Uni dashboard, and it's available for you guys to get. It comes with literally everything that I've shown you guys, all the checklists, all the little tips and tricks, all the habit trackers, everything that we just walked through. And obviously it's fully customizable for anyone embarking on this new journey, so you can just duplicate it into your Notion planner with a single click. You can get this through the link in my description. I hope you guys actually use this planner. I know it's definitely gonna help me a lot, and I hope I incorporated everything you guys want to see. Like I said, you can add stuff if you're missing anything, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.